We would like to welcome you all to our second performance of Dearly Departed. This is our first production that we have ever done, and we want to thank you all for coming out and supporting us. We want to extend an extra special thanks to the Lick Log players who we have here tonight. Some of them we have here tonight. Without their kindness and generosity, this would have never ever happened. So I'd like to give a round of applause for the Lick Log players. A few notes before we get started. We're going to be doing starting some improv classes and improv performances. Our first improv class is April 16th at Soul Infusion at 7. So if you're interested in that, check it out. I hear it's going to be really fun. We've got a really talented lady taking care of that. Bathrooms are located in the entry hallway to the left. Food is going to be served during intermission and afterwards, where you can meet and greet the cast. We can't do that. We put a lot of work into this. We've fought illness, injury, and the notorious mountain weather, and we're real glad to put this on for y'all tonight. One more thing I'd like to mention. If you'll notice in your playbill on the back of the title page, there's a little in memory of Corey York. Corey had agreed to do our lights for us, and then his life was unexpectedly cut short, and we'd like to dedicate our performance tonight to his memory. There is a jar in the back where we're taking donations to give to his family to help cover funeral expenses, and there's also a GoFundMe page if y'all would like to donate. We'd really appreciate it. I think that about wraps it up. So, oh yeah, if everybody would take out their phones and make sure they are off or on silent or vibrate. I'm going to say it twice for those of us that are hard of hearing or don't remember. Please take out your cell phones, put them on silent or vibrate or turn them off. Cast included. I know what y'all are doing backstage. I guess that about wraps it up. So we'd like to thank you all for coming to our show.
Dear brother and Raynell, well, Bud, I was expecting to see you at services Sunday, but I guess you thought you had something better to do. Again. Well, you missed a good one. Our guest speaker, the Reverend Leon Strieber, gave a very interesting talk on some of the more obscure scriptures from Deuteronomy, and Clarice Talbot's Sunday School put on a real good puppet show based on the book of Ruth. Sure is a shame you missed it, but I guess there must have been something good on the TV. I know how you like to watch that wrestling program. Wonder if they'll have a TV in hell. I don't know if I told you that I saw Norma Easterling in town last week for the first time since she defected to the Nazarenes. As you might recall, I ended my friendship with Sister Easterling after she disqualified 3 of my jars from last year's jelly judging contest, claiming they were not sealed properly. I am pleased to report that she is not nearly so uppity since that nephew of hers went to the electric chair. She says she still chokes up every time she pays her light bill. I noticed Retha Middleton was back working at the beauty shop again. She used to be one of Pauline's best girls, but has been having trouble getting customers since she lost that arm. Pauline says she thinks it just jangles the ladies when they see a one-armed woman coming at them with a pair of scissors. Ansel Kincaid's boy, Tiny, was over here mowing my grass and told me about Junior's business going belly up. When will that boy of yours learn? And speaking of heartache, My own worthless son don't seem to be the least bit interested in finding another job. Ever since he got laid off from the sewage plant, he's fallen in with a real bad crowd. I tell you, I think both our sons could learn a thing or two from Tiny. One thing about Tiny, that boy's a worker. He mowed the front yard, the side yard, the backyard, plus them 6 acres I got out behind the house. Restacked the firewood, cleaned out the garage, and hoed in the garden till it was too dark to see. Since his birthday is coming up next week, I gave him $3 instead of the usual $2. It's hard to believe Tiny will be turning 37. They grow up so fast. Well, that's about all the news for now. I've decided to come over and visit you next Sunday after services. One of you, and I'm not saying who, Bud, needs to get right with the Lord. And I'm just the lady for the job. We're going to spend the whole day in prayer, discussing scripture, and singing hymns till we wear you down. Like it says in 2 Peter 3:8, one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years. Your sister, Marguerite. Well, Bud, what do you think about that? Bud! Bud! Are you all right?
Who the hell? Hello.
Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine. Oh, you ain't getting out of it that easy. Heir of salvation, purchase of love, born of his spirit, washed in his blood.
Good God, Mama!
What was that?
Oh.
Was that blasphemy? Did I hear the Lord's name taken in vain?
What time is it?
7 a.m. And the watchman said, the morning cometh, and also the night. If you will inquire ye, return come.
Uh-huh.
Isaiah 21:12.
What the hell do you want?
Don't talk filth! And what are you doing still laying up in bed at 7? Why aren't you out looking for a job? Are you suffering from a hangover? Did you spend all evening drinking and dancing and talking filth? Are you laid up there with some harlot?
No, there ain't no...
Harlot? Harlot, can you hear me out there? Harlot? It's time to get up, harlot. Wake up, harlot.
What? You stop that! There ain't no harlot here for God! No.
Did I hear the Lord's name used again?
No, you didn't. Now, what do you want?
Well, I guess a mother can't call up her lazy, good-for-nothing son just to see how he's doing.
Well, why don't you ask me how I'm doing so I can go back to sleep?
I haven't got time to listen to your problems. I've got too much to do. Royce, your Uncle Bud passed this morning.
Good God.
That's 3? That's 3 GODs, and it's only 7:05 in the morning.
Well, what did he die of?
Stroke? No surprise. Been hanging by a thread for years.
Well, I'm real sorry to hear that, Mama.
You want to know what I'm sorry about? Your Uncle Bud didn't belong to any church whatsoever. Always scorned and mocked the doings of good Christian people. And you know what that means, don't you?
Don't say it.
Roasting on the end of a pitchfork, even as we speak.
Don't you think it's a
Crying out in eternal torment.
Mama.
Flesh torn by demons.
What about Raynell? Remember her, the widow, Aunt Raynell? How's she doing?
How do you think she's doing? Her husband just dropped dead right there at the breakfast table. Awful. She's doing awful. That's why we gotta go over there and offer her comfort and Christian counsel.
What do you mean, we?
Are you telling me that you're gonna turn your back on your family in this time of tragedy?
Can't Ray Bud and them come get you?
No, they can't. They've got too much to do. And besides, I'd die of shame if they knew that my own son wouldn't come over here and drive me over to my only brother's grieving widow. Or maybe you'd like me to walk the 20 miles over to Lula and it being 110 in the shade, Maybe you'd like me to die of heat stroke,
What time do you want to go?
What time do you think I want to go? Next month? Now! Get your lazy, worthless self out of bed and take me over there now. Bud's not going to keep long in this heat.
Bye, Mama. Love you too.
Okay, Merlene. Now, either Ray Bud or I will be down this afternoon to pick up those brochures. Well, you bet. I sure appreciate that. Now, we were planning on using the community room for the visitation tomorrow night, starting about 7, and we're expecting quite a crowd, so you better tell Cecil to pull out those extra folding chairs. Oh, I didn't know there was an extra charge for that. Well, I'm sure that won't be a problem. Now, there'll probably be quite a bit of food, so we'll be needing those long tables y'all had out for the Crenshaw funeral. Oh, really? How much? Well, okay. Now, we're planning on having the service Friday about 11, and then we'll head out for the cemetery around noon. And right now, I'm assuming that Ray Bud's mother and sister will probably be riding in the hearse with the body, and we'll... Oh, I see. Well, I just assumed that, well, what if one of us drove it? Ray Bud's a real good driver. Oh, of course, your insurance and all.
Tell her we'll just strap them to the top of the Impala, huh?
Oh, no, honey, that was just the TV. Ray Bud, turn down that TV. I'm trying to make your daddy's funeral arrangements in here. I'm sorry. Now, Merlene, where were we? Oh, of course, I understand. Yes, I know Cecil's a wonderful driver. I know he has to make a living. Now, listen, honey, I've got to get going here. Ray Bud hasn't even had his breakfast yet. I'll see you this afternoon, and we'll work out the rest of the details then. Okay. Okay. Okay, Thanks, Merlene.
What the hell you thinking her for, the damn thieves?
Now, Ray Bud.
And whoever thought the term grave robber must have had one of Cecil and Marlene's calendars hanging on the wall.
Now, Ray.
And what's my daddy doing down at the pews anyways? That's what I'd like to know. Us Turpins have always gone over to Patterson's.
Well, now, I thought that was kind of strange, too, but Depues is what your mama wanted.
Revenge. That's what it is, Lucille. Cold-blooded revenge.
What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. He's got me. After all these years, he's got me by the throat.
Who has got you?
Cecil Depew. Don't you remember the 4th grade Cecil peed his pants, right? P.U. Here comes Depew. I started it. Well, I started it and followed him all the way through high school.
Now, Ray, honey, you've got to get a hold of yourself.
Oh, I should have seen it coming. I should have known it. When the rest of us was out shooting birds with our BB guns, Cecil was going around burying them in little shoe boxes. He's going to nickel and dime me to death.
Now, Ray.
He's going to break me.
Now, Ray Bud, honey, you've got to listen to me. Now, I know that this is hard, but Depues was your mama's choice, and we just have to respect that. I know how hard you're taking this. I know you loved your daddy. Well, I loved him too. He and your mama were always so sweet to me. I'll never forget how they used to send me a card after every one of my miscarriages. And you know what? Your daddy, Bud, always wrote the same sweet thing on the back of each one. Better luck next time.
I don't know how I'm going to get through this, Lucille. I swear to God I don't. I hate funerals. I hate everything about it.
Now, Ray, honey, we're going to get through this together. Now, we're a family. And speaking of family, your Aunt Marguerite has volunteered to spend the night with your mama tonight. Is that so sweet? And Junior, Suzanne, and the kids are going to stay here with us.
Oh, no, Lucille. They're not staying here now.
Ray, Bud, he's your brother.
They can shack up down at the Motel 6. Now, we're not having Junior and that mess in here.
You know they can't afford a motel, Ray.
Is that my fault? Did I put a gun to his head and force him to mortgage his house and blow all his money on a pipe dream? Junior, a businessman. Junior couldn't sell lemonade in hell, Lucille.
He tried so hard, Ray.
Well, come on, Lucille, face it. He's an idiot. And I don't want to have him in here. And I'm not going to sit around here listening to Suzanne running her mouth all weekend. And them kids, I believe they are demon possessed.
They are sweet people, Ray. They've just had a string of hard luck lately.
Demon possessed, Lucille. You mark my word.
Now, we will talk about this later. Clyde already called this morning. He says that you have 3 transmissions already backed up there waiting for you. And don't forget, on your way home, you need to stop by the shoe store, size 10D.
I remember.
And Ray, we're not going to have any problems, are we?
No, Lucille, we're not going to have any problems. Just do me one favor. When I die, don't tell nobody. Just bury me in the backyard and tell everybody I left you.
How's she gonna go on? That's what I'd like to know. How's she gonna face life without our daddy Bud? I just don't know how she's gonna go on without losing her mind. Well, I don't know what to say. Of course, I don't know how I'll do it. I swear to God, I don't. I'll probably end up there on the floor in a big pool of tears. God knows nobody would blame me if I did. All our humiliation, and now your daddy Bud has to up and down without seeing you make something of yourself.
Maybe you should sing Jesus on the Cross.
I don't know. That doesn't seem sad enough for a funeral. God knows it's going to be sad, me standing up there thinking how your daddy died, knowing we had to sell everything we owned and move into that god-awful trailer just to pay off that big dream of yours.
Well, maybe you could set that to music, Suzanne.
I believe I was just stating facts, wasn't I? You know I loved your daddy too, Junior. He was just like my own father. I was the one who had to go crawling to him to beg for money for shoes for our children, you know. But I did it. I humbled myself. And do you know why I did it, Junior? It can all be summed up in 2 little words. For love. I told you to quit kicking the back of my seat! I know you're hungry. You think I'm not? It'd be nice to go get something to eat now, wouldn't it? Well, maybe we could if your daddy hadn't wasted all our money! Love. That's the curse of my life. And now we have to face all your family with all of them knowing, all of them looking down at us, laughing at us. Who ever heard of a machine that cleans parking lots?
That'll do, Suzanne.
All our money down the toilet, Junior. How do you feel about that? You think I like working at Newberry's? Slaving to keep that wax fruit section looking nice? You think I wouldn't love to stay home and watch soap operas all day like my good-for-nothing sisters do? That'd suit me fine, mister. Let me tell you that right now. I'd love to stay home, keep a clean house, cook for you, maybe learn to sew and make some clothes for the children. That's all I ever wanted to be, was a good wife and mother. You do that again, I'll tell your daddy to pull this car over and leave you out on the side of the road. How'd you like that? If we just left you on the side of the road and drove off and never looked back. Then what would you do with no mother and no daddy to look after you? Starve to death in the road! Go on and cry, you big babies.
Well, she's just kidding. Y'all know your mama loves you.
We'll see who's kidding. Don't miss this turnoff. I just don't know how they expect me to sing.
I'm sure you'll do your best.
My best? That's a good one. You don't know a thing about it, Junior. In order to do my best, I'd have to have confidence. I used to have confidence. I could have been a professional. I had the talent. I could have married your cousin Teddy Wayne and been the wife of a lawyer. Had a big house with a swimming pool, but no, I couldn't think of myself. That's been my curse my whole life. I never once thought of myself. I had to go and listen to my foolish heart and marry a dreamer. A beautiful dreamer who goes out and wastes all our money on a big piece of machinery that cleans parking lots.
You're pushing it, Suzanne.
Did you ever once stop to think that maybe nobody gave a damn about a clean parking lot?
You're really pushing it.
And of course, it came as a big surprise to you when people just laughed in your face when you asked if they wanted their parking lot
I'm
cleaned.
gonna kill us, Suzanne.
Don't make me laugh.
I'm gonna kill us.
Junior,
Kill us.
stop it! Stop it!
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! I've had it. At the end of my goddamn rope. My daddy just died. Can you understand that? Can you hear me? Am I getting through your thick skull? My daddy just died. I'm 35 years old, dead ass broke, no job, no prospects, and we're 3 kids. Worst of all, I'm married to you. So shut up. Just shut up. I want some peace. If I hear one more word about parking lots, I swear to God, Suzanne, I'll kill you and me too. You got that?
Tense, tense, tense. You are tense. Put that thing away. Y'all know your daddy was just kidding. Your daddy wasn't really gonna kill me. We love each other very much. Buddy, what have you got in your mouth? Spit that out. You shouldn't be picking off things off the floor of the car. You don't know what kind of filth it's got on it. Junior,
What?
do you know what this is?
No.
It's a woman's earring.
Would you like a little more coffee, Reverend Hooker?
No, Sister Turpin, I'm fine. You just rest yourself. I know this has been an awful day for you.
Yes, it has.
It must be a blessing to have your daughter living here with you in this time of bereavement.
Yes, it is. I believe you met my daughter. Delightful.
Yes, I believe I have. I know this must have been an awful shock to you, too. How are you doing, Delightful?
Okay.
Well, she's a blessing.
Yes, she is. Our youngest. Sort of a surprise late in life.
A comfort to you in your old age.
She's precious to me.
Well, I can see why. Sister, as you know, Brother Bud was not a regular member of the church, but I knew you'd want me to say something at the service, so I was hoping you might be able to tell me a few words about your late husband that I might be able to include in my remarks. Now, in just your own words, what kind of man was Brother Bud?
He was mean.
Mean.
Mean as a snake
I see.
and surly.
Surly.
Right surly.
Right, surly.
Yeah.
And how many years were you and Brother Turpin married?
39 years.
39 years.
39 long ones, Reverend.
I see. Sister, I did not know Brother Turpin well, but to me he seemed a quiet man. A man of inner strength. A man who knew his own mind, kept his own counsel, and was at peace with the world. A good neighbor you could go to if you needed a helping hand. A good husband and father. A man who was close to the earth. A wise, noble, and gentle man.
Well, that's because you didn't know him till he was old and sick. He was mean and right surly.
Sister, in my experience, it's best to remember the happier times.
Few and far between, Reverend.
I see.
See, Reverend, after Ray Bud and Jr. were born, I got interested in going back to services. Well, Bud and I were both raised in the church, and we were young, and we drifted somewhat from the shore. Well, I started going back pretty regular with Bud's sister Marguerite. Oh, and one night at a revival, preached by the Reverend Ressa Campbell, why, he was our pastor here for many years before you came, I got saved. Well, I came home and announced that to Bud. He just about hit the ceiling. You never heard such a filthy stream of language in your life. So I said to him, your immortal soul is in grave danger, buddy boy. And if you've got a brain to an acre, you'll go down and get yourself saved before it's too late. Well, he wouldn't have none of it. So I said to him, if that's the way you feel about it, mister, I'm cutting you off.
I beg your pardon?
Not so much as a warm handshake for 33 years, Reverend. You might say we sort of had a standoff. Well, except for that one time.
I see. Did Brother Bud ever come to embrace the church?
Not that I know of.
Well, don't you fret, sister. We don't know what transactions the Lord makes with a soul in those last few moments on this earth.
Well, if Bud made a transaction with the Lord, it must have been a quick one, because he was dead by the time he hit the floor.
Now, we don't know that for sure, do we, sister?
Looked dead to me.
Well, I guess I best be on my way. I'm sure you got family coming and all, and I believe I've got all the information I need. Is Brother Bud resting down at Patterson's?
No, we've got him down at Depues. It's a little cheaper.
Well, don't you worry, sister. I believe I'll be able to come up with a suitable eulogy for your late husband. Delightful. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Well, guess that about wraps it up, Reverend.
I cannot believe that you ran out of gas.
Well, I did.
I can't believe it. Today of all days, my only brother laying in the funeral home, the entire family waiting on us, and here we sit on Route 35 in the middle of nowhere in this death trap that you call a car, and not a speck of gas in it.
Now, Ray Bud said he'll be here as soon as he can. I called him over half an hour ago.
What time is it?
Oh, about 5.
I cannot believe it.
Well, believe it, all right? Just believe it.
You do these things just to torture me, don't you?
Yeah, Mama, I siphoned up all that gas just so you and I could spend a little more time together.
You're a demon, Royce. I swear to God you're the devil incarnate.
Just keep your drawers on, Mama. Ray Bud said he'll be here as soon as he could. Believe me, he can't get here soon enough to suit me, so let's just sit here and be quiet for a while.
So we're just gonna sit here.
Yep, that's the plan.
Ha! Jesus got the knife.
Well, that's all right, Mama, because Satan has the car keys.
I cannot believe that you're my son. You got Beelzebub in you, boy. What happened to you, Royce? Why did you turn out so evil?
Oh, just lucky, I guess.
To think that I was in labor for 17 hours with you.
Mama.
17 hours of unbelievable torment.
Mom, don't get started.
Screaming out in unbearable agony.
Mama.
They offered me drugs to ease my suffering, but I turned them down. I said, no, I don't want your dope to ease my misery. I'll gladly bear the torment to give life to my child.
Mama.
Just give me a bullet to bite on, I said. If our Lord and Savior could be nailed to the cross and still forgive his persecutors, then surely I can forgive this child for busting my guts. If I'd have known then how it was all going to turn out, I'd have told him to shoot me right there on the table.
Well, remind me, Mom, and I'll buy you a pistol for Mother's Day.
You're not going to turn out like your brother, are you? I think that we can safely say that Jim Ed won't be coming back to town for your Uncle Bud's funeral.
Well, you leave Jim Ed alone.
I'm serious, Royce. What do you plan on doing with yourself? Them unemployment checks aren't going to last forever, you know. Have you thought about that? About your future? Life is not drinking and dancing and loose women. Life is not a good time, Royce.
Well, you're living proof of that, Mama.
You better straighten up and fly right, or you'll be doing your dancing on a bed of flaming hot coals. You better make a plan for yourself and make it soon.
Well, I got a plan.
Well, let's hear it, Royce. Time's running out.
All right, when those unemployment checks run out, I'm gonna marry a woman and have a child so I can get on welfare.
That's your plan?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, I just got one thing to say to that.
Yeah, what?
Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine.
Well, Mama, see anything there that strikes your fancy?
Who knew there was so many different kinds of caskets?
Well, I like the sportsman.
Who asked you, Satan? This is Raynell's decision.
Well, that's nice. They're all nice. It don't really matter.
What do you mean it don't matter? Of course it matters. You want to just put them in a pine box?
Oh, of course she doesn't. Corn dog Mama Ray.
Thank you, Lucille.
I thought the diplomat looked awfully nice.
Yeah, that looks good.
Real sturdy. Oh, Junior, how's Suzanne feeling?
Oh, she's feeling a little bit better. She just gets these sick headaches sometimes.
Oh, how awful. Corn dog Junior.
Well, thank you, Lucille. So y'all decide anything?
No, Mama's looking at a few models there.
It's just so hard to choose. What do you think, Junior?
Well, I like the gentleman farmer.
You do, huh?
Well, that's awful pretty. Isn't it, Ray?
It seemed kind of pricey to me.
Well, maybe you're right.
No, Mama. I don't want you thinking like that at a time like this. This is our one and only daddy. We're going to do everything the right way. Well, I went down to the pews this afternoon, and I told them everything first class all the way. No skipping on flowers or nothing. Money was no option.
Oh, Ray Bud, honey, would you like to come help me in the kitchen for a minute?
No, I think I'd like to hear Junior's thoughts on this. Go on, what were you saying, Junior?
Well, I was just saying how Mama shouldn't have to worry about any of this. We'll take care of everything, and we're not going to worry about the cost. Because when Daddy takes this final trip up to that family plot, and we're all sitting there saying our last goodbyes, I want us to be able to hold our heads high. Say we did our best. We gave till it hurt. He wouldn't have done any less for any of us. You know it's the truth. Because this is a time to remember that each of us, in our turn, we're making that lonesome journey up to our final resting place.
Some of us may be getting there sooner than they think, Junior.
Suzanne, honey, how are you feeling?
A little better, thank you. Are the kids driving you crazy?
Oh, no, honey, we locked them out of the house.
Oh, good. Lucille, can I have one of your nerve pills?
Oh, sure.
I left mine at home.
Oh, sure, honey. I'll be right back.
Well, come on in, Precious. You didn't need to be standing at... Here, why don't you sit right here? Would you like a corn dog, baby? Might make you feel better. Choo-choo, here comes the train.
No. As much as I'd love to, I know I'd just vomit it up.
Well, I'm sorry to hear you feeling so bad, Suzanne.
Oh, no, Mama Ray. I'm the one who's sorry. You know I love Daddy Bud just like he was my own father. And believe you me, I know what it's like to see someone you love shrivel up and die right in front of you. I just feel so bad about it.
Well, that's real sweet of you.
Here you go, honey. I brought you two.
Oh, thank you, Lucille. You're a comfort.
Come on, Precious. Why don't we get you back to bed? You'll be feeling better in no time.
I seriously doubt it, Junior. Oh, my. What was that? Did I drop something?
Yeah, honey. You dropped your earring. Here you go.
Oh, no. This isn't my earring. I would never wear something so cheap and tawdry looking. No, this must belong to some other woman. I'll hold on to it, though, because I'm sure I know who it belongs to. And I'm sure if I think about it long enough, I'm going to remember where I've seen it.
Come on, sugar. Let's get you to bed before the pills kick in.
Well, the gentleman farmer's got my vote.
Well, that's awful pretty. What do you think, Ray? Can we afford it?
Do you want it, Mama?
Well,
Good, fine, it's a done deal. Gentleman farmer it is. Now, can we get on to the headstone before we all drop dead?
Yeah, I understand you have a few thoughts on that, Aunt Marguerite.
Yes, I do. I was thinking it would be real nice to have some scripture on the headstone. And I've taken it upon myself to pick out a few things that would seem appropriate.
why, thank you, Marguerite.
No trouble at all. This here's my first thought. Psalms chapter 6, verse 5. For in death there is no remembrance of thee. In the grave, who shall give thee thanks?
That's cheery.
I don't know, Marguerite. That does have sort of a sad feeling to it. You got anything else?
Well, I'm sorry that y'all didn't appreciate that. Personally, I thought it fit the bill. This here's from Ecclesiastes. That which hath been is now. That which is to be hath already been. And God requireth that which is past.
Well, I like that a lot better.
I think we ought to go with it.
Oh, hold on. Just excuse me, just 1 minute now. Mama, with the price of the stone, we get Daddy's name, the date of birth, and the date of departure. And that's it. Anything else is extra.
Well, how much?
Cecil says $2 a letter.
Well, that wouldn't come to much.
Well, whatever it comes to, it's going to come to a damn sight more than you'll be pitching in, Junior.
What are you trying to say, Ray? You trying to say I ain't gonna pay my fair share? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, who you think's going to pay for all this, huh? It's going to be you? It's going to be delightful? No, it's going to be me, you moron.
Now, Ray, you hush.
How much is it?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me that, buddy. Take a look at that. There you go. I can keep a little tally.
Well, Ray, you know I'll pay you back just as soon as I get back on my feet.
Oh, yeah, you will.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Royce, would you come over here, please? Sit down next to me for a minute. I want you to do me a favor. In the morning, I want you to take this down to their pews, and I want you to tell Cecil this is what I want on my husband's stone. Now, it's 12 letters, and this ought to cover it. And there's a little something in there for gas money. Now, Royce, this is just between you and me. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now I want to go home.
Mean and surly.
How's Mama?
Sleeping.
Well, good.
So you got yourself a little something.
Yep.
I thought you told Lucia you quit.
Well, you know how I lie.
Well, I won't tell her, don't worry.
Oh, that's good, Junior.
Sure see how a man can work up a thirst. Woo, it's hot. Hot, hot, hot.
Sit down, Junior.
Well, thanks, Ray. I sure do appreciate it.
Yeah, ain't nothing of it.
Sure is funny how things work out, ain't it?
Yeah, I just laugh myself to sleep about every night.
It's all a mystery, ain't it?
Full of twists and turns.
We never do know, do we?
We're not meant to know.
It's all right, by the way. About my eye and all, you don't have to apologize. I understand.
Uh-huh.
Well, I was real sad to hear about Lucille losing that last baby.
Thank you, Junior.
I guess she was all tore up about it.
Good. God, I wish you would just quit trying. The doctor told her if she didn't want to lose it, she was going to have to lay flat on her back and not get up for nothing. Well, we talked about it. Decided we'd give it one more try. So she went to bed, and I went down to the Rexall, get her prescriptions filled, and, pick her up a bedpan. I give her this Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket, in case she had to go while I was gone, Well, I guess it took me about a half hour. Time I got back, I guess I don't have to tell you what happened. She'd had it and didn't even know it.
God, Ray, what'd you do?
Well, I called the doctor up, and they said, bring her in right away. Oh, good God, Junior, that was a pathetic sight. Me hauling Lucille through that waiting room full of people, and her just screaming and crying and still hanging on that damn chicken bucket.
Ray, that's about the most awful story I ever heard. Jesus, I thought I had it bad.
Yeah, I was sort of sorry to hear about your business going under, Junior.
Well, thank you, Ray. Ray, you ever wonder what life would be like if you hadn't married Lucille? Well, I don't mean Lucille exactly. I just mean in general. What it'd be like if you'd met some other woman. And I don't mean a woman who could have children. Because, Ray, trust me, children ain't all that cracked up to be. I just mean, you know what I mean, Ray?
Yeah, you mean you've been screwing around on Suzanne?
How'd you know?
You drive around in your car wearing long dangling earrings, Junior?
She tell Lucille.
Oh, yeah.
Does Mama know?
Not yet.
God, Ray, I don't know. It just kind of happened. There I was in the Kmart parking lot, giving them a free cleaning, sort of like a free sample. And then there was this woman loading things in the back of her car, and she just kind of struck up conversation. She asked me about the machine and how it worked, and she seemed really interested. And here I am, on top of this big piece of machinery, sort of like the master of it. There's a woman looking up at me, making me feel proud, making me feel like a man. A real man, like Daddy was. I was in business. I was a businessman. I had control of my life.
What happened?
Suzanne showed up looking all hot and wilted, 3 kids hanging off of her, begging for a popsicle. Well, what did she want to talk about? The house payment, the car payment, her mom, the kids needing this and that. And as she was talking, I just watched this woman pack up the rest of her things and drive away. And all of a sudden, I was filled with this desire to run Suzanne over with the machine.
Yeah, I can sure understand that, Junior.
Well, it gets worse, right? As the weeks went on and things with the business started going sour and bills started piling up, all I could think about was killing Suzanne. Shooting her, pushing her down the stairs, sneaking up on her with a baseball bat. Anything just to shut her up.
What happened with the woman?
Well, one day I just kind of looked her up in the phone book, and one thing kind of led to another.
And how much of this does Suzanne know about?
Well, I told her about the where and when, but I kind of danced around telling her about the who.
So what you gonna do now?
I don't know. Everything's such a mess right now. I gotta get me some money.
You will. You'll figure it out. But not tonight.
You turning in?
Yep. Big day tomorrow. You ought to do the same.
I will here in a minute.
Hey, listen, Junior, I've been thinking, maybe you could bring that thing over here Sunday, polish up my driveway a little bit. I've been meaning to pay somebody to do that for me, if you got the time.
Yeah, Ray. Sunday'd be good.
Good night, Junior.
Ray,
Yeah.
Daddy'd be real proud of you.
You too, Junior.
It's 11:45 p.m. and station WWPX serving the communities of Lula, Hennessy, and Bobo, and Blair sing our nightly program, Spiritual Guidance Inspirational Music, Midnight Center, featuring the Joy of Life singers and your host, the Reverend B.H. Hooker.
Good evening, friends. This is the day that the Lord hath made. Rejoice and be glad therein.
We've got the joy, 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 joy down in our hearts.
Where?
Down in our hearts.
Where?
Down in our hearts. We've got the joy, 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 joy down in our hearts.
Where?
Down in our hearts to stay.
Real good, kids. Well, it's been a busy day, and I've been in the car all day today, rushing from place to place, offering comfort and counsel to some of our brothers and sisters in crisis, catharsis, and confusion. As I sat in the various kitchens, offices, and hospital rooms, I was made aware of all the different kinds of problems we encounter here on this journey called life. And I said to myself, Beverly, what is this thing we call life? Is it nothing but a collection of problems, disappointments, and heartache? Or do we make it that way with our endless wants, needs, and desires? And if it is we ourselves who create all this unhappiness, why do we do it? Why don't we realize that the slender and fragile canoe of life can be so easily overturned in the turbulent rapids of the world? Why don't we just relax and take things as they come and not expect so much? Why do we feel we have to call somebody when we're troubled? Why don't we just keep it to ourselves? Why do we feel the need to unload it on someone and make them drive all the way out to our house on the hottest day of the year? Why do we cry and moan and bend somebody's ear till they think they're going to die? Why don't we say to ourselves before we pick up the phone, now, is this really a problem, or am I just belly aching again? Let us remember in these times of confusion, distress, and sorrow that when it feels you can't go on, you probably can. And when you think to yourself, there's just no answer, you're probably right. Remember, friends, in these times of confusion, distress, and sorrow, that when you think you just can't go on, you're probably right. Our time here is shorter than any of us can imagine. So if you feel your life is nothing but a pit of unrelenting torture, try to make the most of it. After all, tomorrow is another day. All right, now we've got a lot more show for you, so don't go away. We're welcoming a new sponsor to the program tonight, DePuy's Funeral Home, where they combine a thrifty, no-nonsense approach with Christ-like sensitivity to answer your funereal needs. All right, kids, take us into the commercial.
We've got the joy, 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 joy down in our hearts.
Where?
Down in our hearts to stay.
Merlene, that's way too loud. Turn that down. This is a wake, Merlene, not a parade. You got anything up there a little more somber? Well, take a look. Paying you enough? Well, bud, they got you painted up like a $2 whore. What? Oh yeah, Merlene, that's much better. And Merlene, let's see about getting that air conditioning turned down. Bud's melting like a candle down here.
Well, here we are, honey. Why don't you have a seat right here? I just gotta go park the car. Won't take but a minute. I'll be right back. Can I get you anything?
Can you get me back the last 12 years of my life, Junior? Can you get me back my youth, my hopes, my dreams of a loving and faithful husband? Can you do that, Junior?
No, but I can get you Coke or something.
A Coke would be fine, adulterer.
Oh, Suzanne. Hey, I thought I told you kids to wait in the car. I'll be right back, baby. Hey, get them dogs out of here.
Suzanne,
Aunt Marguerite.
are you feeling better today?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Well, I hope you'll fill up to singing tomorrow morning.
Oh, of course I will. You know I couldn't let Daddy Bud down. Oh, doesn't he look wonderful? So peaceful.
Looks kind of rouged up to me.
How's she gonna go on, Aunt Marguerite? That's what I'd like to know. How's she gonna go on?
Well, it's gonna be sad.
How's she gonna face life without our Daddy Bud?
It's sad when a woman loses her husband. I remember when I lost my William. No one to cook for, no one to keep house for, no one to talk to over the breakfast table, the children crying, asking over and over again, "Where's our daddy?" Nothing but the lonesome sound of boards creaking under your feet as you walk the floor from dark to dawn, asking yourself the same question, why? Oh, why? Oh, why? Oh, why did he leave me? Where is he gone? Why don't he come back? Why can't it all be the way it was? No, I don't think there's anything sadder than a woman losing her husband. Suzanne! Get a hold of yourself! You know, for what we're paying, it wouldn't have killed Merlene to run a little women pledge across this thing.
Well, here we are. You want to sit down or something?
No, let's take a look at him.
Well, doesn't he look nice? You were so right about that blue suit. Makes him look so distinguished.
Yes, it does.
I think Cecil did a wonderful job. He looks just like he's sleeping, doesn't he, Ray?
Yeah.
Looks kind of like Miss Kitty on Gunsmoke to me.
I don't think so. I think he looks real natural. Don't you, Suzanne? Well, what do you think, Delightful?
It's fine. He looks fine.
What has he got on his feet?
Oh, yeah, Ray. Cecil called the house earlier today. He said that the shoes we sent over didn't quite work out.
Well, those were brand new shoes.
Yeah, I know, honey. Do you remember how Daddy Bud had that arthritis in his feet so bad? Well, they think that when he had his stroke, he kind of pointed his toes down, and so the shoes we sent over kind of didn't work out.
Lucille, my daddy's wearing ballet shoes.
I think they make him look real graceful.
I'm gonna kill Cecil.
Now, Ray, we've got people coming. What would it look like with him out here in his stocking feet?
It's fine, Ray. We can bring his bedroom slippers tomorrow.
I'm gonna kill him.
I'll tell you who I'm gonna kill. Merlene, if she don't get that air conditioning turned up. Merlene, where are you? Bud's getting awful shiny out here.
Well, I guess I better go get those food tables set up for the reception. Suzanne, honey, would you like to come help me? I think we need to stop by the bathroom first, though, honey. You've about cried all your Maybelline off.
I had no idea Suzanne was so close to Bud.
Mama, you want to sit down or something for just a minute?
No, I'm fine. I just want to stand here another minute, but you go ahead if you want to.
No, that's all right. We'll just stand here for a minute. That's what we'll do. We'll just stand here. Whew. Sure is hot, isn't it? Oh, Aunt Marguerite got that air conditioning turned up. Whew, it is hot.
Are you all right, Ray?
Oh, yeah, Mama, I'm fine. I'm just fine.
Hey, Bill's close. Good pup. Y'all seen Suzanne?
Yeah, Lucille took her to the toilet. I think they're gonna be in there a while.
Shoot, I ran all the way down here. Wow. Just look at that. He sure looks dead, don't he?
You expecting him to be singing and dancing, Junior?
No, I just didn't expect him to look so damn dead.
Come on, Delightful. Let's hit the ladies' room before everybody gets here. It's gonna be a long sit.
There it is, Ray. Death. Mortality. The Grim Reaper staring you right in the face.
Shut up, Junior.
What's the matter, Ray?
Nothing.
You don't look so good, Ray.
I can't move, Junior.
What do you mean you can't move?
I need to get out of here. I need some air, Junior.
Ain't nothing to be scared of, Ray. It's just death. End of the line. The last hurrah. Crossing the River Jordan.
Shut up, Junior.
Ray? My daddy got them dancing shoes on.
Listen, I'll tell you later. Look, when I get to feeling a little better, I want you to help me do something.
What are we gonna do, Ray?
We're gonna beat the shit out of Cecil D. Pugh.
Well, we sure were sorry to hear about Bud.
Why, thank you, Veda. Norma's looking better than the last time I saw him.
Well, he has his good days and his bad days. Ain't that right, Norval?
What did he say?
I believe he said the corn eats many miles. That's good, Norval.
That's real good, Norval.
Every once in a while, Norval takes a little walk through the garden, if you know what I mean.
Well, how are you, Veda? It's been so long since I've seen you.
Oh, not so bad, I guess. I still manage to get out to services on Sunday. And, of course, we go into Timpson every Wednesday for Norval's dialysis and to get his prescriptions filled. Doctor's got him on these new liver pills that seem to be working out a lot better. Ain't that right, Norval? Norval? Norval! Oh, whew! I thought we'd lost him for a minute there. I have got to remember to get them batteries changed on his pacemaker. You know, I've noticed a real improvement since he had his gallbladder out and his bypass done. And next month, we're getting rid of that prostate, aren't and this, gotta keep that blood pressure down. And this one's for his stomach. And this one keeps them kidneys working. Whew. I tell you, it's a lot to remember.
I can imagine.
Oh, well, Verna Swindle comes in to help me with his bath twice a week, and she sits with them if I need to go into town. Getting anything, Normal? Okay. Getting anything now? Okay. Of course, he's on a real strict diet, so I gotta be real careful about everything he eats. No salt, no sugar, no fat, no meat, Nothing too spicy, nothing too heavy. You want a cracker? Cracker, Ray?
No, thank you, Veda.
Yeah. After we get his physical therapy out of the way in the mornings, I give him his injections and irrigate him for about an hour. Once he's had his lunch, he takes a good long nap. And then I usually set him out on the porch, let him watch the sunset while I get supper ready. Oh, I gotta be careful though. Once I got to talking on the phone, left him out there for over an hour, and the mosquitoes got him pretty bad. Of course, supper's his big meal of the day. It's always a gamble to see if he's gonna be able to keep it down. Once I give him his evening medications and get him into bed, he usually sleeps straight through till morning. Of course, I don't get much sleep myself because I have to get up and turn him every couple of hours.
Well, you're just so lucky to have him.
I know. What'd you say? Okay.
What did he say?
I'm not exactly sure. I think it was something about Debbie Reynolds. That's good, Norval.
That's real good.
This one's Johnny Cash. He's by my first marriage to AC. You remember him?
Oh, sure.
Then there's Garth Brooks. That's Dolly Parton there in the back. Then there's George Jones. The twins Mary Kate and Ashley. And this here's Baby Gaga.
Isn't she beautiful? They're all just so precious, Nadine.
Oh, thank you, Lucille.
And you named them all after somebody famous.
Yes, I did. Call me a fool, but I believe each of them is special in their own way. I believe if you're special, you should have a special name. Excuse me for a second. Oprah, you put that down. You put that down right now.
Well, you're just so lucky to have all these precious babies. Ray Bud and I have been trying for so long, but I've never been able to carry one to term.
Oh, I just know it'll all work out for you. You would be such a good mother, and Ray Bud would be so happy.
You know he would. He never talks about it, but I just know how badly he wants one.
Well, 8th time's the charm. That's what I've always heard.
Nadine, can you keep a secret?
Oh, sure.
Well, now this is a surprise, so don't breathe a word to anybody, but, well,
Lucille, you're not.
my, friend is almost a week late.
Oh, Lucille, that's wonderful.
Now it's just a week, but got my fingers crossed.
Oh, me too. That would just be so wonderful. Y'all have been together for so long.
Almost 15 years.
15 years. You know, it's funny how things work out that way. Here you and Ray Bud have been together for so long, wanting kids. You know, I never really planned on having a big family.
Really?
Nope, I sort of had this plan to move out to Hollywood, but then I met AC, then I met Wendell, then I met Carl, then I met Dwayne. Things just sort of didn't work out.
Well, honey, you're young. You could still go out there.
No, after little Skinner was born, I kind of gave up on the idea. But the good news is, I'm engaged again.
Oh! Good for you, honey.
It's love this time, Lucille. He's nothing like those other men. I got a real good feeling about it.
Oh, well, how wonderful. Tell me all about it.
Well, his name is Rebel. He works for the carnival, travels all over the country guessing people's weight. The only problem is, he doesn't really like kids. I'm not going to worry about it, though.
Well, love conquers all.
Yes, it does.
A person's just got to follow their heart.
Amen.
You got to do what feels right.
Call me a fool.
You're a fool.
Well, shit, Ray. It's all a mystery, ain't it? Life, death.
Yes, it is.
We just don't know, do we?
No, we don't.
We're not meant to know.
No, we're not.
At least it was quick.
Yes, it was.
That's the best way, you know. Quick. Wouldn't want to linger. That's just awful.
Yeah, it is.
Quick, that's how I want to go. Bolt of lightning, car crash, piano falling on my head, that's what I want.
Well, I hope that happens to you, Clyde.
Me too, Ray. Me too, Ray. Wouldn't want to just hang on and hang on. That's no good.
No.
Wouldn't want to be in a coma either.
Nope.
You get the flowers me and the boys sent over?
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you, Clyde. That was real thoughtful of you.
Clyde's Auto Repair and Body Shop take care of their own, Ray.
Well, I appreciate it.
We're not just a garage, Ray. We're a family. When you was nothing but a drunken bum and didn't show up for work half the time, we stood by you, because that's what families do. They look out for each other. You just let me know if you have any problems around here. We'll take care of them.
What are you talking about?
You just say the word, and they'll be paying out more in hearse repair than they can make in a year.
Thank you, Clyde.
We take care of our own, Ray.
I know you did.
They just parked that thing out on the street, you know. Anything in the world could happen to it if you get my meaning. Why, you just say the word and that thing might just blow up some night.
I'll keep that in mind.
Stranger things have happened, Ray. My brother-in-law's in the demolition business, you know.
I got the picture, Clyde.
You just let me know.
I will.
It's times like these you find out who your real friends are. You find out all sorts of strange and mysterious things. Speaking of which, you never told me your daddy was a dancer, Ray.
Well, that's a pretty well-kept secret.
Honey, babe, you're not gonna stay in there all night, are you? People are asking about you. And I need you out here. I know what you're thinking. I didn't do what you think I did. Well, I did. I definitely did. But I didn't do it for the reasons you think I did. I did it. Whew. Maybe I need to start over here for a minute. Honey, you remember what it used to be like when we first started dating? How much fun we had? How happy we were? Do you know what I remember most about those times? Well, I remember when I'd stop by the Dairy Queen and I'd buy you a grape slush and we'd go sit on that sofa your folks had out in the front yard. We'd talk about the future and how it was going to be. Well, I miss those times. I miss who I was back then. And I miss who you were back then too. And I guess sitting out there in that parking lot, I just kind of lost my head. And I forgot how much you and the kids mean to me. And I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. Because you're my whole world. And I love you.
Well, thanks, Junior. Love you too.
Royce, you ain't seen Suzanne, have you?
Yeah, she's in the kitchen helping Lucille.
Well, thank you, Royce.
Things aren't going too good, are they, Junior?
Yeah, I guess you could put it like that. Royce, if you don't mind, I've got some pretty complicated things to think about.
Answers sure are hard to come by, aren't they, Junior?
Yeah, they are.
Sometimes a man's just gotta sit down and think things through, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
This is how I see it. Life is like a big circle, and you don't know how it began, and you never know just where it's all gonna end up. That's how I see it.
So life's a circle.
Yeah, but the trouble is, some people only see the circle itself, and they start feeling like they're trapped in it, like they'll never get out. And pretty soon all they can think about is all the things that they wish they had inside their circle. Jim Ed always was one of those kinds of people. So much so that when that highway patrolman pulled him over, he had quite a few things in the trunk of his car that belonged in some other people's circles. So for the next 3 to 5 years, Jim Ed's circle's gonna be about 8 foot by 8 foot.
Well, how's he liking it since they transferred him up to Parkville?
Oh, he likes it pretty good, I guess.
Making new friends, is he?
Well, you know, it's hard when you move to a new place.
Well, sure.
what Jim Ed never understood is that the circle isn't something that's outside you, it's something that's inside you. And it's not there to keep you from having things, well, it's there to protect the things that you already got. And the funny thing is once you stop punching and pushing and trying to get out of it, well, all of a sudden the circle just opens up a little bit, and there's room for everything. There's room for Mama, room for Jim Ed, room for all the things that didn't work out, and just a little room left over for all the things that might work out yet. You know what I mean?
So what you're saying is, life's a circle?
Well, yeah. Come on, we better get in there. They're about to put the food out.
Royce, if you don't mind me asking, how'd you come to figure out that life's a circle?
Well, in the sewage business, you tend to let your mind roam. Because I believe if you stop to think about what you were doing, you'd snap.
Well, I just can't believe how many old friends I've seen here tonight. People I haven't seen since high school. I'm just so sorry Teddy Wayne couldn't be here. He always loved his Uncle Bud so much. But his law practice is just doing so well. It's just keeping him busy day and night. Well, I just feel like I hardly see him anymore.
Oh, that's such a shame.
Oh, Suzanne, since you're not doing anything, would you mind to give us a hand with this? I'll tell you what's a shame. It's a shame it takes something this sad to bring us all together again. Suzanne, do you remember how Lucille was a part of my royal court when I was elected Yam Queen?
Seems to me I remember that.
Oh, that was such a wonderful time. All of us up there on that beautiful float. Why, I can still remember the faces of all those other girls just floating by like so much garbage. Why, I believe we were just the prettiest girls in this town.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, you were certainly pretty. Think about the prettiest yam queen we've ever had. Don't you think, Suzanne?
Well, about as pretty as a woman can be with a big pile of yams on her head.
It's just so nice to know that now we're a family and we can come together like this in a time of sadness.
Yes, you're so right, Lucille. You can't be living in the past. It's so important at a time like this to be kind and loving to each other. So how are things with you, Suzanne?
Well, Juanita, I feel like my life has come to an end. That all my hopes and dreams have died a slow and horrible death. And that my entire world was built on sand.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, chin up. Lucille, did you see what happened to my peach cobbler?
Oh, yeah, honey, I think it's still in the kitchen.
Don't worry about it, sugar. I'll get it. Delightful, you want to help us in here for a minute? Oh, and Lucille, you might want to put some of those covers back on. I'm just sure Merlene's got roaches. This place is such a sty.
She's gonna be Yam Queen till the day she dies.
Oh, don't listen to her, honey. She just thinks she's happy.
What am I gonna do, Lucille? What am I gonna do?
Now, honey, things aren't so bad. You just got to think of the positives. Why, you have 3 beautiful, healthy children, and you've got your job. They're at Newberry's, and you've got your mobile home, and you've got a.
Go on, say it, Lucille. I've got a parking lot machine.
Well, it's good to know some things never change. We got a lot more food out there in that kitchen.
Why don't you go help me in the kitchen for a minute, honey?
Well, Aunt Marguerite, are you still working with your church groups and all?
Yes, I am. I'm currently Vice President and Sergeant at Arms for the Ladies African Missionary Auxiliary.
Oh, I've been reading so much about that sort of thing. Y'all gonna teach them to grow their own food and all?
Nah, we feel like that's been done to death. When, those people get hungry enough, they'll figure out how to put a seed in the ground. We're sponsoring the ministry of Sister Wileen Urger, who's going over there to teach them African women how to wear brassieres.
Oh, well, how's that going?
Well, we don't have all the money raised yet, but we'll get them women in brassieres if it's the last thing that we do.
Well, I sure wish you luck with that.
Well, I think this is everything. Doesn't it all look nice? I guess we better get some of these people fed.
Oh, look, Lucille. Isn't that Bernice Talbot leaving?
Yes, I believe it is.
God, she looks awful. Not that she ever was a prize.
Well, she always did have that skin condition.
Of course, you know she drinks.
And her mother went insane.
And she never could dress.
Why did she wear that awful jewelry?
And all that makeup.
She'd throw her skirt up for anybody who'd ask.
It's a shame.
Poor thing.
Bless her heart.
God love her.
Well, I guess we better get started.
Of course, you know she picks up men in the Kmart parking lot.
Well, I know that some of y'all are a little shy about being the first ones to come up to the food table, but we've got an awful lot of good stuff up here. Juanita, what's that you got?
Oh, yes, this comes to us from Ovita and Cletus Biddick, and Ovita sends their condolences and says she discovered this recipe one day when a page of her cookbook fell out, and she accidentally made half of one recipe and half of another. She calls this macaroni and ham loaf surprise with cheese, and it sure looks good.
It sure does. What's that you have over there, Delightful? Beans. Well, Delightful has beans if anybody wants them. How about you, Aunt Marguerite? What do you have over there?
Well, Suzanne brought this bag of potato chips. Of course, she didn't bring a bowl or anything, so I guess she just expects you all to stick your hand down in this here bag.
Suzanne, honey, what do you have down there the folks might like to know about?
Well, we got some kind of... Bernice Talbot picks up men in the Kmart parking lot.
Next, we have a real nice...
Bernice Talbot picks up men in the Kmart parking lot?
Suzanne, honey, maybe we could talk about this later.
Suzanne.
My husband did it with that dog in the Kmart parking lot? I can't stand it.
Don't pay her any mind. She just wants attention. What else do we have?
Bernice Talbot!
Would you quit harping on that? Now get up before you get your dress dirty.
Well, this doesn't have a part with it or anything, but it looks like somebody brought us some real nice... Some real nice... Who brought this?
Honey, what's the matter?
Lucille, come back. Who's gonna do this? Suzanne, I just got one question. Are we gonna serve this meal, or are we all gonna sit in the toilet and cry all night? Well, all right then. Now stand up straight and act like you got a little pride for once in your life. I've got a son in the penitentiary, and you don't see me wallering all over the floor. These people don't care what your husband did with Bernice Talbot. They never liked you before, and they ain't gonna think any less of you now. All right? So let's do this. All right, who wants the ham loaf?
Well, we sure had a nice turnout tonight.
Yes, we did.
I'm sorry I got so sick. I just don't know what came over me. Well, I'm sorry I didn't get to see everybody.
That's all right. Trust me, Lucille. You didn't miss that much.
I just thought it was so sweet. All those people coming together, each one of them touched in some way by Daddy Bud.
They're all touched all right. Lucille, hand me that bag.
I just think it's funny what'll bring people together. All those people gathered together in one place like that.
I think it might have had something to do with that free meal they just got.
You don't mean that, Mama Ray.
No, I don't guess I do. People mean well. They just come over wanting to tell you how sorry they are for you, and they wind up telling you how sorry they are for themselves. By the end of the evening, you just sort of feel like slitting your throat.
You're just tired, Mama Ray.
Would you set this down by the door? I don't want to forget it in the morning. Sure. And would you see if Junior could use any of these shirts? If he's going to be job hunting, we don't want him walking around looking like a scarecrow.
Oh, honey, are you ready to go?
No, I'm wanting to talk to Mama for just a moment.
Oh, sure.
It's all right with you?
Absolutely. You get some rest.
Night, honey. Ray?
Mama?
You know, Ray, it's funny how you feel like you can know somebody and then you find something out about them that you never knew. That ever happened to you, Ray?
Yeah, I guess it has.
Take your daddy, for instance. Here I was, married to him for almost 40 years. And he never once said a word to me about defecting from that Russian ballet company. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you, Ray?
I'm sorry, Mama. I don't know what came over me. I don't know why I said that. I didn't mean to embarrass you.
You should have some respect, Ray.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Mama, because that's exactly what brings me here tonight. Cecil told me what you requested for Daddy's stone. Now, I'm not going to have it. Now, I know he was your husband and y'all had your problems, but he was my father and I'm not going to have it. It's going to say, rest in peace, which is 11 letters, and Cecil said he'd give us a $2 credit.
I understand, Ray. It's all right.
Well, that's all I wanted to say to you. I'll let you go on to bed now.
Ray, come over here and sit down for a minute. I want to show you something. Why, do you remember these?
No?
Well, there's no reason you should. You were just a little boy. Why, these are my old sewing scissors. My mama gave them to me not long after Bud and I were married. Lord knows all the things I made with these. Quilts for the beds and clothes for you boys. Then one day they just disappeared. Searched the house from top to bottom. Never could find them. They were just lost. And they stayed lost for 27 years. Can't imagine how many times I wondered where these things were. And you know where I found them, Ray?
No.
In your daddy's shoebox yesterday. Ain't that funny? Reckon how many thousands of times I must have walked right past them, never even knowing they were in there. The real funny thing is, Ray, in all them 27 years, it never once occurred to me to ask your daddy if he knew where they were. Ain't that strange?
Yeah, I guess it is.
You know, Ray, I didn't lose your daddy Wednesday morning. I lost him a long, long time ago. But you know what? I think he'll turn up one of these days. Just when you least expect it. Kind of like finding these. I'll probably be opening a drawer or cleaning out a closet, and there he'll be. Well, I don't mean him exactly. I don't expect he'll be flying through the house in a white sheet or anything. Just a feeling. Kind of like when I found these scissors. Not real happy. Not real sad. Just glad, I guess. Glad it all happened. Glad I knew him. Well, you think your old mama's lost her mind?
No, I don't.
Well, you're wrong. I have.
So what you gonna do with your newfound sewing scissors?
Well, after Junior goes through them, I'm gonna cut up all your daddy's clothes and make me a real pretty quilt.
That sounds like a great idea. Well, it's getting late. We better get on to bed now.
Ray, don't let me forget that bag there over there with them slippers in it. Be just like me to remember them things after they've already thrown the dirt in.
I'll remember. Now.
And Ray, You just got to be patient, honey. He'll come back to you too, just when you least expect it.
See you in the morning.
And Bud, do you remember that pretty plaid shirt I bought you for Christmas last year and you never wore? Well, it's mine now.
Cannot believe how long this is taking.
Just relax, Mama.
And the mother of Sisera peered through the lattice and cried through the window, "Why is his chariot so long in coming? Why tarry the wheels of the chariot?"
Mama, why don't you just park your chariot right here?
Where the hell is he?
We're in no rush, Ray. He probably had to make a phone call.
We're paying by the hour, Mom.
Go find him.
Just sit tight. Oh, hello, Juanita.
Oh, Ray, I'm sorry I'm so late. I sort of got held up at the beauty shop.
You didn't miss anything. We're kind of still looking for the preacher. Real glad you could come.
Ray, does my hair look all right?
Yeah, Juanita looks fine.
Really? Because my regular girl was out sick and Retha Middleton had to do it. And you know she's none too dependable since she had that accident. How she picks up those hot rollers with her teeth is a mystery to me.
Well, maybe you ought to just go ahead and have a seat. We're going to be getting started real
Thank you,
short.
Ray.
Here.
I will.
Oh, there you are. Where the hell is he?
He'll be out in a minute, Ray.
I'm going broke out here. Now we're paying by the hour. We're supposed to start this at 11 o'clock. What's the holdup out there?
Well, did you know that last night was the Reverend and Mrs. Hooker's anniversary?
No, I didn't.
Neither did I, and I just feel so bad we didn't send a card.
What is the point, Lucille?
Well, did you know the new Mexican restaurant that opened up near Timpson? The Reverend and his wife decided that they would go last night since it was a special occasion and all. And
So?
the Reverend's having a bit of intestinal difficulty this morning.
You have got to be kidding me.
Do I look like I'm kidding?
Just go back in there and tell him to get out here.
Ray, he's the preacher. I just die of shame.
Now, if I gotta go back there myself, I'm gonna rip the door off the hinges. I've just about had it with this shit.
That's a poor choice of words.
Just do it, Lucille.
I'm Ray, but I know I'll just die.
It'd be just a minute, dear. You doing all right?
Never better.
When are we starting this thing?
In a minute.
Well, Suzanne, where's Junior?
How should I know? Ask Bernice Talbot.
Oh, I'm sorry you're feeling so down in the dumps, Suzanne. Do you want some gum?
No, thank you.
I always carry a pack of juicy fruit with me to weddings and funerals. Sort of gives me something to do while the preacher's talking. Yeah, I think it's something about the rhythm of it sort of lulls me. Helps my mind to wonder. And do you know what I think about when my mind wanders?
I have a feeling you're going to tell me.
I think about my life. I think about the end of each day. How I tuck my precious little boy into bed. Turn out the lights in my $2 million home. Slip into my beautiful black lace negligee. Crawl into my king-size bed and lay there and wonder where the hell my husband is. You sure you don't want a piece?
Okay, I'll take one. Why don't you leave it?
And go where? Suzanne, I'm not an unhappy person. I never said I was. I got everything I ever asked for.
But if he really loved you...
Oh, then I might be forced into the god-awful position of having to love him back. Do you love Junior?
Well, I...
Do you want him back? You don't have to answer that right now. Just sit back and let the juicy fruit take its effect. It'll come to ya.
Sorry to keep everybody waiting. I had a real important phone call to make.
Told ya. We're so glad you could join us, Reverend.
Thank you, Sister Turpin. Merlene. Before we begin, I'd like to thank our fine organist for maintaining the mood of our services while I was unavoidably detained. Our thanks to Sister Merlene Depew.
You ain't working at the skating rink, Merlene.
Well, shall we pray? Heavenly Father.
Sorry, I'm late. I had to put hey, Margaret, would you mind moving your purse? Y'all didn't bury him yet, did you?
No, Junior, at this rate we never will. Now sit down, we're in the middle of a prayer here.
I'm sorry. I'm fine now. Sorry.
Go on, Reverend.
Shall we bow our heads? Heavenly Father, we come here today with heavy hearts as we note with sadness the passing of our dearly departed Bud Turpin. Give peace to our hearts this day, Lord. Give us strength to face the new dawn, and guide us, Lord, through the long night, and help us to see the promise of a better tomorrow. Psst, stop it! Give peace to our hearts this day, Lord. Give us strength to face the new dawn, and guide us, Lord, through the long night, and help us to see the promise of a better tomorrow. For what is yesterday but the tomorrow we thought we couldn't face the day before? But with your help, we faced it. Just like we'll face today, tomorrow, and all our days to come, till you call us home to be with you and our beloved brother Bud. Amen.
Amen. I love you. Don't believe him, Suzanne. He told me the same thing.
Junior, what is this?
A grape slush. I got some dilly bars for the rest of y'all.
You bought me a grape slush?
Yeah.
I love you, Junior.
I love you too, Suzanne.
That is it. That is it. Get up. I want you to get up and get in them chairs. Get up, get in them chairs, now don't you get out of them. Now, is that it? Does anybody have anything else they want to say or do? Everybody has everything they need. Delightful. Would you like a dilly bar? Let's get a dilly bar down here right now. All right. Now, is that it? Is there anything else? I do not want to hear another word. We're doing this come hell or high water. Take it away, Reverend.
Thank you, Ray. Now, I did not know Brother Turpin well, but to me, he seemed a quiet man, a man of inner strength, a man who knew his own mind, kept his own counsel, and was at peace with the, he was at peace with the, would y'all excuse me for a moment?
He'll be right back. Lucia, would you mind? Lucille, are you laughing at my father's funeral? Who else bring it?
I cannot believe it.
Lucille, run up that aisle.
God forgive your family for laughing at this funeral home.
I believe he does, Marguerite.
Lucille, I hate children.
I thought you always wanted them.
You're all I ever wanted, honey.
Reba, there's something I need to tell you.
Well, I hate to break up the party, y'all, but how are we going to have a funeral with no preacher?
We don't need no reverend. Raymonde, you get up there.
What?
You heard me. This is for us. We can take care of ourselves. We don't need nobody. Merlene, this is a private service. Just family. Go on, Ray.
Well, all right. Well, we've all gathered here today to pay our last respects, to say goodbye. Bud Turpin was a man who said, well, what he said, and he did what he did, and thought pretty much what he thought. Now, I don't know what any of that means to any of y'all, but whatever it means, whatever thought, feeling comes into your heart, hang on to it, because that's what you got. Right or wrong, that's what he left you, and no one could ever take that away from you. Now, we are truly lucky to have with us today Mrs. Suzanne Marie Turpin, who has graciously consented to honor the memory of her father-in-law with a song. Suzanne.
Well, thank you, Ray. It's been a while since I've sang in front of people, and I'm not used to singing without accompaniment, but
We're paying by the hour, Suzanne.
okay. Okay, I got it. There's a land that is fairer than day, and by grace we shall see it afar. For our Father waits over the way to prepare us a dwelling place there. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore.
Well, Daddy, I know how you're always worried about us and the kids. And I just want to tell you, you don't have to worry anymore, because we've got a plan. Suzanne's going to go in the music business. and I'm gonna be her manager.
We're gonna dedicate my first album to you. It's gonna be called Songs of Love and Bud. And there's gonna be at least one song on it about an old man dying on a farm.
Keep your fingers crossed for us, Daddy.
Yeah, he sure looks peaceful, don't he?
He sure does. Daddy Bud, in about 9 months, we might be getting a little surprise. And if it's a boy, we'll name him Bud. And if it's a girl, we'll name her Budine. But don't keep your hopes up.
Well, Royce, when I go, just put me in a pine box. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money on me. Not that you'll have it anyway.
Well, Mama, when the time comes, just try to point your feet like Uncle Bud. That way I can just put you in the ground with a pile driver.
You're a demon, Royce.
I'm your demon, Mama.
Well, you got anything you want to say to your daddy? Bye. Short and sweet. Let me have a minute alone here, honey. Well, Bud, I guess this just about wraps it up. I still wonder if you hid them scissors out of spite, but I guess I'll never know. I'll miss you, but don't get your nose out of joint if I remarry. Well, take care of yourself. And Bud, save me a place.
We shall meet on that beautiful shore.